收下，手凳好，手凳。
你说是没什么说，最多没做到400最多不能进做吧，300，你这几年发现还有比别人多钱。哎，你好。
美女，
哎，你好，美女，看着没电池啊。
Hello from on the edge of the Gobi Desert in northwest China here. You're watching our special live program on the Belt and Road Initiative. I'm Xiangyang with Xinhua News Agency. Today, we are at the Grottoes of Mogao, the Mogao Caves, which is a must-see tourist attraction along the ancient Silk Road here. As this week we're exploring the city of Dunhuang, an ancient city on the ancient Silk Road that connected China with Central Asia, India, and the West. Been traveling to different Chinese towns and cities to learn the culture and history and how they are being revitalized by the initiative to create the modern Silk Road. Chinese President Xi Jinping proposed the Belt and Road Initiative, which refers to the Silk Road economic belt and the 21st century maritime Silk Road. So we've been traveling to different cities to learn how they are being revitalized. This is actually a modern infrastructure and trade network that connects Asia with Europe and Africa and to really produce connectivity and generate growth here. Well, this week, and we're in Dunhuang, as I said earlier, so we're really welcoming everyone to join us on this live tour here at Facebook, at YouTube and Twitter, as we will reveal the splendor of the Mogao Grottoes. Is actually the largest and best preserved Buddhism art along the Silk Road here. Well, let's get inside and start our journey here. We will start with the very famous 9-story pagoda here. This is the very famous and must-see pagoda here at Dunhuang. So today, joining me to reveal the splendor of the Mogao Caves will be our tour guide, Lucy, and she's waiting there right for me. So together, we'll explore this journey to take a look of this remarkable collection of Buddhism art along the ancient Silk Road. So, hi.
Hi, Sean.
So guys, this is Lucy.
Hi, everyone. This is Lucy.
First, introduce yourself a little bit.
First of all, welcome to Dunhuang. I'm an English-speaking tour guide with Dunhuang Academy.
Wow, I'm so happy to have you with me today because, you know, this is such a large collection of Buddhism art, so many caves to check out. So to have you with me, I think we can answer a lot of the questions posed by our viewers online. Are you excited?
Of course.
Of course. Okay. She's been working here for more than 10 years, but she is very passionate about the artwork and how the caves were created. A lot to tell, guys. So this is the 9-story pagoda. We're going to get inside and take a look, see what's in there for us to check out. So if you're just joining us here, we're live on Facebook, on Twitter, and YouTube for a splendid journey at the Mogao Grottoes here. This is our first location to check out today, the 9-story pagoda, a must-see spot here at Mogao. So Lucy, wow.
Breathtaking one, huh?
Yeah, breathtaking one. This is such a large Buddha here. I want you guys to take a look how big this is. Can you let me know the size of the Buddha?
It's over 100 feet.
Over 100 feet. Wow.
To be accurate, is more like 35.5 meters big.
Wow. Just give you a sense of how large this Buddha is. I feel like this is a 9-story building, right?
Almost like that.
Yeah, 9-story building, and this is a giant Buddha sitting in the middle. As I said, this is a place that for travelers on the ancient Silk Road to pray. They stop here to pray and also to give thanks to the journey that was safely made. So this is such a breathtaking one to look at. So can you introduce a little bit about this giant Buddha for us?
This one was constructed in 7th century.
Okay, 7th century, guys. Pretty long time ago.
Yes. And then it was carved in situ and plastered and painted. A typical sculpture technology around this area.
Wow. Let's take a closer look here. If we can see, the color is very bright, actually.
Yes.
As Lucy just told me, this was created in the 7th century. 7th century, actually, more than 1,300 years ago. But if we take a look at the color and the pattern here, it's just so bright. It doesn't really tell you how long this was built. But to look at this, you were just amazed by how the Buddhist monks were able to create such splendid architecture, such splendid sculptures during that period of time. This is a 9-story tall building, but with a giant Buddha sitting in the middle. Why people come here, for tourists? They still come here to pray.
But only one day a year.
One day a year.
Yeah, in the birthday of Shakyamuni.
As I said, this is a pilgrimage place, the Mogao, for travelers on the ancient Silk Road. Also, it's really a spot where Buddhism spread around the trading routes in ancient China and came here through these caves. We will have a very it's really transformed our understandings of the ideas, of the beliefs, of the lives about Buddhists, and also how the people in that period of time were able to come here and pray in this place. I still cannot believe how big this is. So tell me a little bit about the connection between those giant Buddhas and their connection to the Silk Road.
I mean, this kind of theme could trace back to Afghanistan.
Wow.
The oldest big giant Buddha statues actually located in Afghanistan. And it traveled through the Silk Road.
Yeah.
And it came here. But at the beginning, Dunhuang do not have such power to construct this kind of gigantic one.
Yeah,
the 7th century, that was the beginning of the flourish time of Dunhuang.
Wow. I know Dunhuang was created in the 4th century, right?
Yes.
I know the Buddhist monks created the first cave in the 4th century, but then hundreds more were made over the course of next 1,000 years. The creation period is between 4th century to 14th century, if I'm correct on that one.
You're right.
Yeah. So I did a little research before I came here to meet Lucy. I know she's very experienced. So guys, if you wanted to know any question about the Mogao, about Dunhuang, and this fascinating caves and grottos here, I wanted you to feel free to comment. Let us know, because we have Lucy with us. We're able to answer some of your questions, because this is the world's most remarkable Buddhism art along the ancient the Silk Road, because this is our special program on the Belt and Road Initiative, which was proposed by Chinese president in the year of 2013. Sorry for that. So this is a modern free trade and infrastructure network that really connects Asia and Europe and Africa. So it's really to generate growth. And we've been traveling to a lot of the Chinese towns and cities to learn how these places are being revitalized by the initiative. And today, we are here on the edge of the Gobi Desert. We are looking at the world's most remarkable Buddhism art collection here at Mogao Grottoes. With me today is Lucy, a very, very experienced tour guide here. She's been working here for more than 10 years. So she will be able to answer a lot of your questions. So I want you guys to really join us here and feel free to comment, tell us what you want to know about this remarkable, marvelous art of Buddhism here at Mogao. So let's another shot. Such a giant Buddha sitting in the middle. As I said, Mogao became a pilgrimage place for travelers on the ancient Silk Road to come here, make a stop, to pray, and also to give thanks to the journeys that were safely made. I know that some of you are asking where this is. So I want you guys to know. Why don't you?
So We're in Dunhuang, guys.
Yeah, Dunhuang is in northwest China. It's a city, oasis city along the ancient Silk Road. This is on the edge of Gobi Desert in northwest China here. So we are actually in the city of Dunhuang, a place, very important along the Hexi corridor. This is really a critical part of the Silk Road here. And now we are checking the Mogao Grottoes, one of actually the largest and best preserved Buddhism art collection here. So we want to take a look at that. So I'm very glad you are joining us here live. We are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So feel free to comment with any questions. This is at Dunhuang, Mogao Grottoes in northwest China here on the edge of Gobi Desert. Joining me today is Lucy, our tour guide, and she will be joining me together to explore this exciting journey, guys. Now we will get on a long passage to really feel how the Buddhist monks were able to carve, the temple, the venerating Buddha on the cliff face here. Well, any questions you want to know, let us know.
Jean, do you know, long time ago, those passages were made of wood.
Made of wood?
And most of them were destroyed by earthquake.
Wow. So now this is a remodeled one, like
Yes.
we rebuilt it.
It was from 1960s.
It was from the 1960s that the passages were rebuilt. Originally, it was made of wood.
Yes.
So, the first cave was created by Buddhist monks, right? As we said, this is on the edge. This is the edge of the Gobi Desert. Very harsh landscapes surrounding the caves here, but the dryness from the desert really helps preserve the Mogao.
Yes, we should thank to the desert climate.
Yeah. If it's too wet or humid, that will damage the caves.
The mural.
Oh, the murals first, yeah. Because there are just so many murals that we want to show you guys later. This is the place where the most remarkable collection of Buddhism art can be checked out here, with the murals, manuscripts, sutras, banners, and silk paintings, a lot of things. That's the best and largest Buddhism art here in the world, especially such a important and critical part along the Silk Road.
So, Sean, do you know how many grottos are on the place?
Well, I don't know the exact number here. How many grottos are in the Mogao?
Guess?
Hundreds of them?
You know, local would like to call this place Southern Buddha Grottos.
Them.
But actually, 735 grottos were survived.
Oh, so 735 grottos or caves survived during the course of, I think it's over thousands of years, right? It's about 1,600 years
ago.
Yeah, but there are about over maybe 400 are decorated with murals.
Yes, you're right. You really did your research.
Because I know you're so experienced. I don't want to feel like I know nothing about this place. Well, I know because it is such a long time span that we wanted to really preserve this art. Thank you. We really wanted to preserve, this remarkable art here. But during time, really time has also taken its toll on the paintings and the wall paintings here. That's why I think we started the conservation work here.
Actually, conservation is the most important thing for us to preserve all of those grottos. And then now we're in cave 100.
Cave 100. So every cave is numbered?
Yes. That's how we could catalog all of those.
Yeah, we want to document them as means of preservation. As Lucy said, 135 caves survived over the course of more than 1,600 years, and over 400 of them are decorated with murals like these fascinating murals on the wall. But time is taking its toll also. We started the conservation work around
1944.
Yeah, starting from 1944, the conservation efforts began with Dunhuang Academy.
Yes.
Also, a lot of international institutions also joined the
We
efforts.
have lots of cooperations with other institutions.
Yeah, a lot of
all around the world.
All around the world, people wanted to save the art for future generations. They wanted to really preserve it, to really as a means to learn the ancient Silk Road, to learn the Buddhist art. There's so much things to see. Tell us what they are doing right now.
Well, this is a conservation site, and now you can see those are conservators. They're doing their really delicate work.
Wow.
There are different deteriorations caused by different elements.
Yeah. Because this is, the first cave of Mogao was built, created in 4th century. That was pretty long time ago, over 1,600 years. Only 735 of them survived. But, with a lot of things taken into consideration, some of the murals have deteriorated or we lost parts of the murals here. That's why we started this conservation work here. Now we see the conservators here, they are trying to restore.
It's more like conserve or preserve it.
Yeah, preserve it. I know we have to use very specific term to describe the scene here. They're conserving or preserving this remarkable art. If we want to take how many hours do they work like this every day?
Wow, let me check out.
Okay.
宋老师，你们每天要在这个洞窟中工作多久？8小时。It's almost 8 hours per day.
Almost 8 hours per day for these conservators to start the preservation work here this is cave 100, right?
Yes.
So one of the caves that needed to be taken care of, maybe for urgent protection.
Yes, you're right. You could say that along the bottom of the cave, there are lots of painting are gone.
Yeah, as we said, over such a period of long time, parts of the murals have been lost or deteriorated. So we see, especially some of the plasters are detached from the conglomerate wall here. That's why these conservators, they are here to work almost 8 hours a day to really preserve the murals. We see they're using brushes, all kinds of different tools for their conservation work here. This is such a delicate work, I think.
It's definitely.
It's really delicate work because everything, we wanted to really make the murals look like how they actually look like. Even though we're not able to make them, to let our viewers know the original appearance, but we wanted to really preserve it, to really take how they are actually looking. Even though some of the parts have been lost or deteriorated, we wanted to show that to our viewers. And so this cave is now closed.
It used to open for public because it's a big cave, but now
so the
conservation program is taken, so the cave is closed.
So the cave, this one specifically, is closed for 2 visitors. But before we get out of this cave, I want everybody to just have a look of the murals here. I know each mural is telling a different story.
Most of them based on Buddhist sutra, which is the canon, classic of Buddhism. But different time have their own different ways to represent their ideas on the wall. And this cave could trace back to 10th century.
10th century, this cave 100. Really, this whole cave is filled with murals. If we look at different dimensions, we want to look at different directions, that what we see is totally different. Like you see the ancient architectures, Buddhist sort of stories. I'm wondering just how many characters were drawn onto the walls.
We have no idea.
To present, such a complicated mural here. So, guys, if you are just joining us, we are live on Facebook, on Twitter, and YouTube for a exciting tour today at the Mogao Grottoes at Dunhuang. Dunhuang is an oasis city along the ancient Silk Road. We're here today to take a look of the world's most remarkable Buddhism art here. We are in Cave 100 with Lucy, our tour guide today. And, there are 735 caves that survived over 1,600 years, and about over 400 of them are decorated with murals. And so later on we'll check that out. And now about 60 or 70 are open to visitors.
60s, around 60s.
Around 60. The reason for that is because we wanted to preserve the art, preserve the cave. So a lot of scientific research, environmental control, and also visiting management are taken into consideration if we want to have the art best preserved for not only for visitors, but also really for future generations.
Yes, that's true.
This is such a vast collection of Buddhism art here. We just look at the Cave 100 that we looked how the conservators were preserving the art, steering over the course of such a long period of time. Some parts of the murals were lost or deteriorated. And that is why, we see how they were working almost 8 hours a day for the preservation work here. So we are at Mogao Grottoes, the largest and best preserved Buddhism art here in the world, such a critical part along the ancient Silk Road. This has become a pilgrimage place. Travelers during that time would actually stop here to pray. So you go first.
Thank you.
Watch out.
So guys, this will be a very exclusive and exciting tour today, as some of the caves, they might already been closed for 2 visitors, but we're still checking to see how the conservation work is going here with very experienced conservators to preserve the work. There are just, we said over 400 caves are filled with decorations. When we say decoration, it's actually the murals.
Mural, yes.
Yeah. This is really provides an entire tapestry of the Silk Road with all the murals that are associated with Buddhism stories, right?
Yes.
I know you must have a lot of stories to tell on our way here. Also, one interesting point I want to let you guys know, there are 735 caves, but not every one of them can be open to visitors. We wanted to preserve them. Some are not okay with such a big amount of a number of visitors coming in at one cave. So we have this replica work, right?
Yes.
So we actually create the shells that are to the exact dimensions of the original one, and we to print the images that are digitalized at full scale, and we print them and we trace the patterns, the lines, and then we created this almost the same, look like the same replica caves, right?
Yes.
So what is the purpose of the replication here besides the preservation? Any other thing that you want to?
At the beginning, it's only for document. Document all of those precious mural.
Yeah.
With the hands of artists and eyes of them.
Wow.
That's a really delicate job. It takes a lot. Some of them spend their whole life here.
Wow.
And then, but as technology developed, right now those replicas, they became like perfect way to represent Mogao Grottoes for someone who cannot come here.
Yeah.
Or they're not here.
I know tourists from around the world would be liking to come here, but maybe they're not able to come here themselves, or because some of the parts are not able to be closed to visitors, and that's why we have this replica caves that will be presented for our visitors, that they have the chance and opportunity to check what's really inside those caves and how the murals are like.
Yeah.
So tell us where we're going now.
Now we are going to Conservation Center, which is a place we display all of those replica caves and a wonderful exhibition about conservation work.
Okay. You know, you're working for the Dunhuang Academy, right?
Yes.
Which, you know, oversees the Mogao, and the Academy has a long tradition of the replication work, which dates back to 1944, right?
Wow, you're right.
Thank you. So guys, we are live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for our special program, the Belt and Road Initiative. For the past few weeks, we've been traveling different Chinese towns and cities to learn the culture, history, and how the towns are being revitalized by the initiative, which was proposed by Chinese president in 2013. It refers to the Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Maritime Silk Road, which really is a modern Asia with Europe and Africa, and also to generate growth and boost connectivity. So this week we are in Dunhuang, an oasis city along the ancient Silk Road, and we are here to check the splendid Mogao Grottoes, the world's most remarkable Buddhism art along the ancient Silk Road, and it's also the largest and best preserved Buddhism art in a single place. We just checked the 9-story pagoda, right?
And 800 grotto.
Yeah, the 100 grotto, where we saw the conservators are preserving the deteriorated murals on the wall. And now we're heading to our next location, which is the Conservation Center, where we'll be checking out the replica caves that will be presented for visitors that were not able to come here themselves, or especially for those who wanted to check out some of the caves that are not really open to visitors. So now we're getting off and are heading to the Conservation Center, guys. So if you have any question that you want to ask, feel free to do that, because we have Lucy with us now, and we want you to have a profound understanding of the tour. Guys, you're watching our live program here on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm Xiangyang with Xinhua. This is
Lucy.
Lucy is a tour guide for Mogao Grottoes here at Dunhuang, northwest China. We are on the edge of the Gobi Desert. We're visiting the world's best and largest preserved Buddhism art in a single place. I'm sorry that we were having a little technical problems earlier, but now the audio is back, everybody. So let me know if you can hear me clearly, because we don't want you to miss any segment of our tour. It's such a splendid and marvelous art collection here. We want you to have every close look that you can to look at the Mogao Grottoes. And now we are at the
Conservation Exhibition Center.
The Conservation Exhibition Center. And Lucy, tell everybody why we are here today.
Because I'm going to show you several replicas.
Replicate, okay.
Yes, those are a really interesting way to represent Mogao to someone who cannot come here.
Yeah, I want to give you guys a brief idea of why we have the replication work by Dunhuang Academy. This is a long tradition that dates back to 1944, but also as some of the caves are closed for visiting, we have this replication work that are really been built to the original dimension, exact dimension here. We wanted to make the replication work presenting to visitors who cannot come, who are not able to visit the caves. Now, it's a little dark right now here. We are at the cave. What's the number of the cave for this one?
419.
419, cave 419. I know Lucy said earlier, each cave is numbered.
Yes.
For cataloging, for documentation. And first, before I say anything, guys, I want you to just have a look before we can brief you what this is about. We have a look here, guys. So, I'm wondering what you have seen just now. Maybe just appears to be like thousands of Buddhas on the murals here. So, Lucy, tell me a little bit about this place.
This cave, the original ones, was constructed in 6th century.
6th century.
Much earlier.
Yeah.
And then during that time, Buddhism got really popular in China. That's why at Mogao, they have such a, idea to represent 1,000 Buddha motifs on the wall.
Wow. 1,000 Buddha motifs on the wall, guys. We're not going to be able to count them right now, but because I showed you a closer look earlier, these are just, you see, each one appears to be a little different, right?
Yes.
Look at the color, the pigment that we used to create the murals. How fascinating is that? So guys, we're live at the replica caves of Mogao Grottoes here at the Conservation Exhibition Center of Dunhuang Academy. If you have any questions that you want to know about the caves, the murals, anything you wanted to learn about the Mogao Grottoes, I want you to feel free to comment, because we are having Lucy with us today. She's very experienced. She is actually local. She's from Dunhuang, and she works at the academy for about 10 years now. And she is really passionate about the Mogao Grottoes and the artworks here. So I want everybody to feel free to join us for this live tour and to let us know if you want to know anything about the grotto. Now we're entering another replica cave here. This is cave
285.
285, guys. Before we see anything here, I just want you to know, in 1900, a Taoist priest discovered the cave, one of the caves, and then many of them still started to be revealed. A lot of the caves, over 400 caves, are decorated with the murals, fascinating murals, and it shows you a tapestry of the Silk Road, because this is also a pilgrimage place for travelers along the ancient Silk Road, where they will stop here to pray or to be thankful for the journeys that were safely made. Now we are in the replica cave of 285. Lucy is with me today. I want her to tell us more information about what's happening here. What's on the wall?
Wow. Actually, we're in the most splendid cave of early stages. The cave was constructed around the 6th century, the beginning of that.
Yeah.
And this is also the oldest dated grotto of Mogao.
Wow, so 285
Yes.
is one of the oldest in Mogao.
And in the painting on the wall are much simpler than those we have seen in 100.
So you're even telling me that this is actually simpler than some of the other caves. From my understanding and from what I can see right now, I feel like it's so complicated. There's so many characters, were drawn, very delicate lines that we can see on the wall. So tell us what this is about.
But right here, those are narrative tales. Kids could read them by the picture.
Wow.
Instead of go checking all of those Buddhist canon. And right here, there is one of the famous Buddhist story about 500 bandits.
Wow, 500 bandits, guys. What happened to them?
They set up rebelling. Right here, you can see they're holding like shields and swords.
Wow.
And they're fighting with soldiers, really armed soldiers.
So they're fighting with soldiers at that time. Do you know what period of that?
The stories came from India.
India, okay.
But pay attention to the pictures. Those bandits, they were wearing Chinese clothes.
Oh, that's why.
Which means the artisan, they're trying to represent the story through their own lines.
Wow.
And then those depictions of soldiers give us a really good chance to understand the arbitrary system of the military, back to 6th century. And after the battle, they were failed. That's why they were captured by
the soldiers. So they lost the battle.
Yes. And right here, you could see them. They were tied up, and then they were sentenced to a really brutal punishment.
Wow.
Their eyes are all gouging out. You could see the black dots on the ground. Those are their eyes.
Oh my God.
And then also took off their clothes and expelled
So
them.
they were being punished for the rebellion.
Yes. And then they were expelled to the wild. You could see they're running, they're screaming. Like
They're trying to flee? They're trying to leave the punishment?
no, it's more like another part of the punishment.
Okay.
No one gonna take care of them. They're
Wow. They
black.
were abandoned. Okay.
And then the Buddha heard their voice, they're screaming, and he decided to help them. And he healed their eyes, and then they followed the Buddha. And finally, they reached arhatship.
Wow, guys. So can you guys see the Buddha that was sitting there? So it is the Buddha that, heard the voices of the 500 bandits when they were being punished. And then they came to the Buddha.
To their rescue.
To their rescue. So at the last part of the painting here, we actually see they were wearing Buddhist clothing or costumes.
Yes, you're right.
And now they became Buddhists.
They became like arhats,
Arhat.
the disciples of the Buddha.
The disciples of the Buddha, right. Wow. So this is such an interesting story of the 500 bandits becoming disciples of the Buddha. And the painting was created in the original painting.
538 CE.
538 CE, guys. That's originally how the painting was created. And now we're actually at the replica cave here. As I said earlier, the replication work has been a long tradition of the Dunhuang Academy to be able to show the works to visitors are unable to come here themselves, or to really show our viewers, our visitors, some of the caves that are not really open for public visitation. But each of the replica cave is to its original dimension.
Yes.
Every image were printed at full scale, and there is a long period of redrawing and tracing the lines, and with very delicate artists being able to complete the work here to bring the Replicate to everyone. We're at the Conservation Center here at Dunhuang, the exhibition center. So Lucy, I'm seeing another Buddha statue here.
Actually, this is more like a meditation statue. And then he's in a cell. And this one could give us a chance to look into the practice of Buddhism back to 6th century.
6th century.
Meditation. Wow. That's why the founding father of Mogao Grotto, Yue Zun, he created the first one.
Can you tell us, how people were able to create such delicate murals on the wall? Do everyone that comes here ask you the same question about that?
They have the same question, but we don't have a really good answer for that. Actually, we don't know where those artisans came from or where they goes.
Wow. But from historic records, Buddhist monks created the first cave, which dates back to 4th century. Then later in 1900, a Taoist priest discovered the first cave, and then a large collection was revealed. A lot of the caves that are filled with murals, with paintings, documents, or banners that really represent a variety of languages, cultures, and religions. Shows us a window into the life and belief of the travelers or Buddhists that are along the ancient Silk Road. Buddhism spread along the trading routes into China, and here at Mogao, which has already become a pilgrimage place for travelers along the ancient Silk Road, as they would stop here to pray, or they would give thanks to the journeys that were safely made. If you're just joining us here, we're live for this exclusive, exciting tour here at Mogao. Now we're at the Conservation Center, where we showed you 2 of the replica caves. And now we wanted you guys to know how the sculptures were made. Because replication work takes a long time, takes a great concentration here. So Lucy, let us know, how this demonstration is, what this is about.
This is more like an exhibition for people to help them to understand how the sculptures were made back to that time. And first, they will use wood to contrast a frame.
Yeah, so this is the frame of the statue made of wood.
Yes. And the next step, they will cover the wood frame with straw.
With straw.
That's how they will make sure the moisture goes to 2 sides.
And this one is
after the straw is a really thick layer of plaster on top of the straw.
Well, guys, because Dunhuang is such a renowned place for Buddhism art collection here. Everything has a translation. So I wanted to welcome you to Dunhuang, an oasis city along the ancient Silk Road, and to take a look at the Mogao Grottoes, the most remarkable art collection of Buddhism, and also the largest and best preserved Buddhism art in a single place here. So today our tour, we visited some of the caves. We showed the replication, the preservation work here, and now we are at the Conservation Center of the exhibition, where we saw some of the replica caves, which will be presented to visitors that are not able to see how original the cave is, as those are closed for preservation. This is Lucy, our tour guide today with me. So thank you so much for joining us today for this exclusive tour. I want you guys to stay tuned tomorrow also for our live tour here in Dunhuang. We will continue our journey. We will be reliving the lives of the travelers along ancient Silk Road and how. So you will find out tomorrow as you join our live show for the Belt and Road Initiative, guys. So this is Lucy, our tour guide. Thank you so much.
It's an honor.
Thank you so much, guys. So stay tuned. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.